Good morning, guys. This is your Sir DRV again, and welcome back to my Mythic Heroes channels. And as promised, I will create another video with a good audio for lineups, bosses lineups, and campaign lineups. And just like I told you before, there's no one good or one perfect team. You would have to have a combination of two main damagers, one support, and a crowd controller, and definitely one tank. And that is for campaign and for bosses as well. So let's start with the resource bosses. Okay, so here are the Trials of Ascension bosses. So for the Dorado Bolt, you need to have... Alright, so for the Dorado Bolt, you need to have physical damager. And who are those physical damager? So the quick tip for you guys is to click this. Do you see the up arrow? And click the sword. So the sword means all physical damager. So I suggest what you need to use, or what you can use, is this one, Artemis. Artemis is the god of physical damage. So she is actually dealing much more damage DPS wise compared to Susanoo. So if you're at middle game or end game already, I suggest use Artemis plus Susanoo. So you have two main damager already for your for this Dorado Vault. So what you need is supports. So who are those supports? Just click this one. These are the supports, and your support should be if Idun, Dionysus, and Nuwa. So if you don't have Nuwa, you can either use another physical damager like this one, Medusa, or if you have Lucifer, he can deal much physical damage as well. So yep, that's it for this Dorado Bolt. So what are their equipment? So let's talk about the end game or the best lineup for this Dorado Vault. So if you're looking for the best lineup, this one is the best lineup for Dorado Vault. So what are their equipment? So for Noah, equipment is the air rune, and artifact is the shield. So you can actually change the artifact from shield to Yasakani Magatama, because it has a 42% chance to have the cooldown of the same skill. So we need her to do some skill more. So yeah, you can change it to Yasakani Magatama, and air rune is definitely the best for her. So that's her equipment, okay? Alright, so for Artemis, where are you, Artemis? Just click all again. All, okay. And then go to Artemis. So for Artemis, the best equipment for her is the axe. Axe of Fangu. Unfortunately, I don't have my Axe of Fangu, or the strongest Axe of Fangu is already equipped to GM right now. But what you need to do is to use the Axe of Pangu and the Fire Rune, okay? Because it increases damage dealt by 3.9%. And for the first 20 seconds of battle, increase crit chance. So you can also use Thunder Rune. So the Thunder Rune, what it does is it gives ignore defense and let's see, It ignores defense, and then while attacking, there's a 20% chance of increasing damage dealt to 135%. The reason why the fire rune is better than the lightning rune for um, Artemis is because she's actually not or not focusing on physical attacks compared to GM. GM is actually well, basically he's a madman of normal attacks. That's the reason why you need to use lightning rune on GM. But for Artemis, it's better to use fire rune and axe. All right, so let's move on to Susanoo's weapon and rune equipment. So what you can use for Susanoo, so let's remove this. This is not the correct one. So what you need to use is axe as well, and the fire rune as well. So if you don't have any extra fire rune, then you can use lightning rune since you're already using it or your Artemis is already using it. So you can use lightning rune or thunder rune to Susanoo. And if you don't have extra axe, you can use the staff of Shahur. So this is the second best weapon for Susanoo. The first is the axe of Pangu, and the next best weapon is the staff of Shahur. Okay, so that's the weapon and artifact, the rune and artifact for Susanoo. Next, for Dionysus. So what you need to take in mind is we want Dionysus to proc his ultimate more, or we need his ultimate to proc more. That's the reason why I'm using Dark Rune and the Yasakani Magatama as well. So no question asked, use Dark Rune for your Dionysus, okay? Yasakani Magatama is useful as well because, as you can see, I'm not sure if this is her or he. Dionysus is he have a good active skill, so if you have Yasakani, there's a chance he can do it more often. So best artifact is Yasakani and Dark Rune. All right. So for Idun, I'm pretty sure you're already familiar with healer rune. It's water rune and the Excalibur, because she's a support and she stays alive longer in battle. Then you can equip Excalibur. What it does is increase the attack and defense of all allies by 7%. All right. So water rune and Excalibur. All right, so that's it for this Kubera, or for this vault boss. So this is the end game units for this boss. Okay, let's move on to the next boss, the Afrit Den. Let me show you the end game for the Afrit Den. So the end game for Afrit Den is this one. Izanami and Zeus and Persephone. You can also remove Idun or Nuwa. Remove Nuwa and put where is Cleopatra? Here. Oh no. This is Afrit Dun. It's a single. Sorry, sorry. I'm thinking of Ymir, the boss that have a lot of underlings or minions. Sorry. So for this boss, it's GM Dionysus Idun,
I will shelter the weak.
Nua,
Archaic powers are unhindered by any laws.
Tamamo no Mei. Where are you, Tamamo? Tamamo.
Who doesn't like playing with me?
Okay, so you can either um, replace Nua. If you don't have Nua, replace her with Zeus. Or if you have Nua, then use
Archaic
Nua.
powers are unhindered by any laws.
Okay, so we can actually argue about Tamamo and Zeus, but I think since Zeus is a magical damage, if you don't have Tamamo, you can replace it with Zeus. But if you don't have Zeus upgraded, then use Tamamo. Okay. So same equipment for Idun, for Nua, and Dionysus. For GM, if you don't have GM, then use Zeus. If you have Zeus, if you don't have Zeus, you can use Persephone. So just click this and then the magic, and it will show you all the magic dealers. All right, so these are the list of magic dealers.
Awaiting wandering souls.
So if your main damager or main carry is Izanami, then you can use Izanami, and then Zeus, Izanami, and GM, Izanami, and
I will restore the power and
Cleopatra.
prestige of
So there's a lot of combination for this Afrit Dune, but the difference is there's the trio, always the trio here: Idun, Dionysus, and Nua. So they are the three supports trio. All right, so let's check equipments. So for GM, just like I told you earlier, Axe for the artifact, and Lightning Rune or Thunder Rune for the rune. All right, I don't need to explain this. I have a different set of videos for GM, for her weapon, divinity, and skills. You might want to watch it. So yeah, that's the combination of heroes. For Zeus, let me just give you the best equipment for Zeus. That is the Air Rune and the Yasakani Magatama. Okay, same as Nua. Because what you need to gain advantage for Zeus is the passive, the static field. So whenever he uses active skills and ultimate, he can deal additional lightning damage equal to 5% of enemy's current health. This is the reason why Zeus is best for bosses. Alright, so Air Rune and Yasakani Magatama. Alright, so that's for your Afrit then. So right now we don't have the Yggdrasil well, but the best lineup for that Yggdrasil well is those who are doing physical damage or magical damage but AoE. So who are the best AoE dealer here? Number one on the list, Izanami. Weapon for Izanami, Dark Rune, and the Chakra. Okay. Next is where are you, Zeus? Zeus. He's also a great AoE dealer. Not only his ultimate, but the lightning chain and the static field. So everyone is affected. Almost all, three of his skills are AoE. So you will never go wrong with Zeus. Okay. Next best damager AoE dealer is Persephone. But the problem with Persephone is you need to make her weapon at least 400 to make him or to make her viable, to maximize her AoE damage. Because if not, if Persephone does not have any good weapon upgrade, I think Cleopatra is better than her. So this is another AoE damager, Cleopatra. So the weapon for Cleopatra is not this one, okay? The Yasakani Magatama, this is correct. And air rune, another air rune. But if you already have air rune equipped to other heroes, then you can just equip her with the fire rune for the increased damage dealt by 3.9% or by percentage. Okay, so if you don't have air rune, you can either use dark rune
I will not be denied.
or fire rune. Okay, so what else? If you have Lucifer, he's also great AoE damager. Not only AoE damager, he's also a great crowd controller. So the equipment for this Lucifer, this equipment is for him to be viable in tanks. So I'm actually making him a semi-tank on my team. So if you want him to do more damage, then equip him with Dark Rune, and then the chakra. Okay, Dark Rune and chakra if you want him to become a damager. But if you want him to just for the ultimate, then the leaf, the forest rune, and you can use Thor's hammer, because if you're using him as well for tank, then Thor's hammer is good. The best HP scale artifact is the Thor's hammer. Alright, so that's the equipment for Lucifer. If you don't have Izanami, but you have main Medusa, then this is also viable AoE damage dealer, because he have multiple arrow shots and it deals a lot of damage. It also have petrification, so enemies can't move. So also you need her weapon to 400 in order to take advantage of the 100% attack speed for Medusa. Alright, so the weapon for Medusa, same as the GM, Lightning Rune and Axe Rune or Staff of Sharur. Alright, so that's it for this one, the Yggdrasil Well boss. Okay, so how about the Pantheon boss? So this is a pretty different boss. So at the end of this Pantheon run, you will see Kronos. So Kronos have the smallest defense, or what? Yeah, he have the least amount of defense, so you can do more damage, and there's a lot of buffs that you can get from Pantheon cards and Pantheon bonuses and relics and blessings. So the best unit for Pantheon are those heroes that have percentage damage. So who are the heroes that have percentage damage? So we have 3 on the line. Number 1 is Zeus, the best unit for Kronos Pantheon boss. The equipment for Zeus is Air Rune and Yasakani Magatama. The next one is Artemis. Yes, Artemis also do percentage damage. That's the reason why she's one of the best for Pantheon Chronos boss. The last one, you will not expect it actually, but it's Hades. So Hades do percentage damage as well. So Hades deals damage equal to 1.3% of opponent's max health every 2 seconds to all enemies. So this is the only tank that gives percentage damage. This is the reason why this is the trio for Pantheon Chronos boss. So Hades, Artemis, and Zeus. Additionally, you need to use Dionysus and then Idun. So this is the end game unit for Pantheon boss. Alright, so Pantheon boss is Zeus, Artemis, Dionysus, Idun, and Hades. Alright, so we have one more boss, which is the guild boss. So for the guild boss, all you need to do is to bring out the trio again. The trio is Dionysus, Nuwa, and Idun. If you don't have Nuwa, you can just replace her with the percentage damager like Zeus or Artemis. And your two main damager. So your two main damager will always be on the team, okay? Alright, so that's it. That's it for my best lineups for bosses. What about campaigns? So for campaigns, I can give you a little bit of my thought into it. In my experience, there's actually no best team. There's always a different set of teams for a different kind of lineups in campaign. But what I can give you is insights on what you need to prepare for endgame. So the first one that you need to prepare is Idun. So she is the queen of healing in endgame. She can heal more than Idun in endgame, but in early game, Idun is better in healing because Naga kinda actually heals percentage of health. So the more health that you have, the more heals Naga kinda does. That's the reason why she scales in endgame. The next one is Athena. So Athena is the best tank for your team to stay alive because she is the only AoE tank healer. You may not know that, but she is actually an AoE tank healer because of his weapon and her skill. So I already have another video specially made for Athena, so you might want to watch it. The next one is the most viable tank in endgame is Gaia. So I haven't made a review for Gaia yet, but the best thing about Gaia is actually his weapon upgrade at 300. So at 300, the last hit of Primal Might will knock the targets into the air for 1.5 seconds. So who are those targets? All of those targets, it's AoE. So this is why Gaia is one of the best tanks in the end game. A lot of the whales or top players are using Gaia in end game. So you might, if you have a lot of copies of her, I suggest you start building her and make her as your main tank. All right. What else? So what else are good with endgame? So another good for endgame is Nua because of her minus one enemy always. If you have her at 400, at the beginning of the battle, Nua used Pillars of the Sky, which makes the battle 4v1, 4v5 always. Okay. So yeah, those are the heroes that I suggest you focus for endgame. So for damagers, you can do or you can focus on a lot of damagers based on what you really want to do. If you want to do more on boss damages, then I suggest you get those heroes that I told you that is best for boss. But if you want PvP, then get heroes that is best for PvP like Tamamo, GM. What else? Susano. Those are the units that is good for PvP. This one, Lucifer, Nua. Alright, guys. So I'm pretty sorry about the bad audio on my previous best team lineups review. So this is the video I made to compensate you guys. All right. So if you have questions or other requests for video, just leave a comment down below. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. I also made a Discord channel for you guys to interact with me if you have other questions. The link will be on the description below. Alright, so thank you very much, guys, for watching, and I appreciate all of your comments. It makes my channel more effective and more productive. Thank you very much, and I love you guys. Hopefully I will see you again on my next video. Thank you very much. Goodbye for now. Take care.